Hey, I'm Liz Larson with the Cognomovement system. Hi, all. Nice to see you all again. Hey, I have a question for you. Maybe it's a weird question, but do you ever find yourself negotiating with the universe? And if so, do you find yourself getting things in your life, situations, circumstances that you really don't want? Only when you think back on it, you think, oh, wait a minute, I feel like maybe I did ask for that, but it's not at all what I want. So, I wanted to ask you about that because it happens to so many of us. And I think that we don't understand exactly why that's occurring. So I thought maybe it'd be fun to actually talk with you guys about that. So it's a little bit of a misnomer. It's like that we have to ask something outside of ourselves to give us something, like our mom. You know how we used to beg for something from our mom? Please, mom, I'll clean my room, I'll talk nice, I'll be nice to my sibling, just give me the thing I want. We kind of do that with the universe, only that isn't the way the universe works. Way back at the turn of the century, Napoleon Hill talked about the thinking stuff of the universe. And he hypothesized that there was actual matter, stuff out there that sort of converted our thoughts into things. And stuff like The Secret was based on that, or What the Bleep. And now we know that science has discovered what they call the God particle, something that really does become matter, the God particle. But the real explanation of that, the simple way to explain it, is that the universe is like a big mirror. It just reflects back to us what we're putting out there. That's it. From our perspective, we get to create through our perspective. And it's kind of like source energy, if you will, having all these little fingers for us to experience every possibility there ever was. So, through ourselves, through our thoughts and feelings, we simply put out these scenarios, these ideas, like ripples or radio waves, like a beacon sending out a signal again and again. And that is what's reflected back to us, whatever that signal is. So, if we have stuff in our life that we don't like, as much as it really sucks to think about it, it's just what's being reflected back to us. Now, if you've heard me talk before, you know what I'm going to say next. It is not in the logical mind, it just isn't. It's in the feeling body. So, when we start negotiating with the universe, it's usually because we're frustrated with how our life is turning out. And we think if we ask for something just a little bit less, then we'll get that. That's easier. But it isn't true. The big things are not easier or less easy than the small things. They're the same. It's in our perspective that we think, oh, well, it's a smaller thing, so I'll be more likely to get that. So, what we do then is we create timelines, we create potential. Let's put it that way. Put that potential into our field with this electromagnetic pattern that we keep thinking about and feeling about for actually something that we do not want. And oftentimes it's an opposite direction of the thing we really do want, the bigger thing. So we fill up all this potential around us, all of our field, with peppered with things that feel like maybe it would be a little better than what we have, but is not the thing we want. So, why am I talking about this today? I actually saw someone in my office, a client today, who had exactly that. She had several timelines that we tried on for size. And yes, we can try them on for size. In fact, with our Cogno Quantum classes, we get to actually feel the timeline. They're real, they're right here, right nearby, they're in our vicinity. She actually tried on two that she thought would be better than what her life is now. And as a practitioner, I could kind of see where they were an opposite direction of what she said she really wanted, her big goal. So we tried them on. She felt them, she experienced them, and they were not a match. Thank goodness they hadn't actually happened yet. They were future things, but they were not at all what she wanted, which was fantastic because it cleared the way for us to actually have her experience the timeline that she really wanted, which was so richer, so much richer, so much more complete, so much more full than the other two, and were really the direction that she wanted to go in. So, negotiating with the universe, well, it can have us get to something that we believe or perceive is more of what we really want, but it isn't the full package. And a lot of times it's hollow, empty, and just really not it. So, why not put our attention towards the thing we really do want? Well, everybody's going to say, because I've done that 1,000 times and it didn't happen. Well, most of the time, what we've done is we've showed the universe how much we want, and how much we don't have it already. We feel bad about it. We want it so much we feel sick, or there's pain involved, or we just simply do not believe it can happen. And so the universe says, nope, it's not really the universe, it's our own field. Says, okay, we don't believe it either. You don't believe it, we don't believe it. You don't believe it, neither do we. Once we can clear that, and that's the beauty of the tools we're using with Cognomovement. That's my tool. That's Bill McKenna's tool. That's everyone who's using Cognomovement's tool. We know now that we can delete that pattern. The signal that is populating our energetic field, our field of potential, with all this stuff we don't really want. And it's cluttery out there. Like I said, with my client, we were able to feel timelines that she didn't want. They were right here, this close, real. But it was not what she wanted. And yet she was creating those, just kind of thinking that they were a little better than what she had. So we want to make sure we're avoiding doing that, or at least getting those back to neutral, and then really focusing on what we are going to choose. We're not going to want it because we know that it's already here. We're populating the timeline with it. We are simply going to choose it. We're going to get rid of the patterns in our body that feel bad when we think about the thing we want. We're going to get rid of the patterns and therefore the beliefs that the thing we want is impossible or harder than some small thing. And now we're clear. Now we just step right on that timeline. Now it's the thing that we generate constantly, automatically. That bigger overarching thing that we want, that big life, our bodies just simply put that pattern out there into our own field of potential 24 hours a day. We don't have to think about it anymore. We don't have to want it because we know that it's already there. It's already in it. It's that disconnect. Why so often, if you're into manifesting, that, wanting the thing and then having the thing, the chasm is like the Grand Canyon. There's no bridge. The bridge is clearing the body, the physical patterns in the body that hold you apart, that make your beliefs other than absolutely I can create that hold you back, that create resistance. The how has always been the big problem. How do I get there from here? Well, the how is through getting neutral in the body. After that happens, you just gently lean in. You choose the next thing. It's actually as easy as that. And people who are using Cognomovement are experiencing that constantly. We call it little miracles because that's what it feels like. It really does kind of feel like magic. It isn't, though. It's just that we now are filling our field of potential with all this clean stuff, with all this good stuff, with all the things we know we really want. There isn't any negotiating anymore with the universe because it's kind of like negotiating with yourself, which sometimes we do. But we want to be doing it on purpose. We want to be filling our field of potential on purpose. And we absolutely do it all the time. It's not something of the future and it's not wishful thinking. It's being aware of how the body's reacting, how the body just feels when you want something, when you're choosing something, and how it feels when you're getting something you don't want. We simply clear that out of the body. We clear that pattern. We stop having that radio signal go out again and again and again. Because remember, the only thing that can happen is whatever radio signal we're putting out, that's what we get back. And strangely enough, that applies to the other people in our life. From our perspective, if we're seeing them in a way that we don't like every day, we're actually holding them in that potential. I know, that's hard to take, right? It's hard to believe. But we see it again and again every day with Cognomovement. Once a person can collapse their pattern about how they feel about another person or about their situation with another person, that relationship changes instantly, lots of times instantly. It's only because from our perspective, we have made up the story that that's the only way that person can be and that we're the victim of what that person is. And the truth is, it's just our pattern. It's not our fault. This is not victim shaming. All it is grabbing the superpower you have of putting into your field of potential just any dang thing you do want or you do choose. If you choose a different relationship within yourself, it's your relationship. You're not changing them, you're changing your relationship to them. All that can happen is that it changes. There just isn't any other way. So consider this if you're negotiating with the universe, to really stop negotiating with the universe. Just don't do that anymore. Just choose the biggest, best thing you do want. And make sure when you're able to visualize that thing, focus on that thing, that it was with nothing else but absolute joyful imagination. And you don't have to keep imagining it and wanting. You're simply choosing. You're rearranging the furniture within that idea, that thing that you want. You're imagining further down the road. You're putting more details on it. That's all. It's like decorating a cake and just adding another bit of detail. You don't hate the whole cake because you want to add another scallop or one more flower. No, you love what you have and then you add another piece and you add another piece and you adjust. That's it. So if this sounds like fun to you guys, this whole concept, Cognomovement is offering dun, da, da, Cogno Conscious in the month of December 2020. If you go to cognomovement.com and upcoming events, you will see the Cogno Conscious. I believe that it is on the 16th. It's on a Wednesday night. Come and check it out. Join us. You can learn about fields of potential. You can learn about populating your own field of potential. You can talk about putting excess potential. We'll show you how you may have been putting an excess of potential into your field. We'll show you how to actually find your timeline in your field. They're right there. They're actually touchable. I know that sounds crazy, but if you haven't experienced it, it's pretty cool. And we'll teach you how to actually attach a timeline back to your body so that 24/7 it is putting out the beacon of that thing that you want, that life that you want. It's not one thing. It's a whole life with people and things and places, and it extends on years out. We'll actually take you down the years to see what that looks like when it's in full bloom. So join us here at Cognomovement. Another way that you can experience the Cogno Quantum class is in our learning portal. I think there are 3 or 4 of them in there now that you can take anytime you want. So check out the learning portal at cognomovement.com. And you could watch as many of those and take it as many times as you want. But the brand new class, and they're always different, is happening right around the 16th, I think, of this month. And they're always different. They're always new. They're always expanding. If you have been already, I highly recommend coming again because there's some new stuff. And also this class just feels incredible. You leave on a high. It's a short class. It's just 2 hours. It's $97, I think, 97 or 99. And it's just pure fun. It's just pure joy. So again, this is Liz Larson with the Cognomovement Systems. And ask yourself the question, have I been negotiating with the universe? And am I always getting what I want? If not, join us and we will show you how to make that whole situation a lot different. All right, guys, we'll talk soon. Bye.